In this video, we will cover immutability concepts in Dart programming. Using code examples, we shall explain the const keyword and show its difference with the final keyword. Welcome back to Code Climbers, where we take you on a coding journey, one step at a time. Let's begin by discussing the const keyword in Dart. Const types are fully immutable, meaning that nothing about these variables can be changed once they've been assigned. Consider the following example. We initially assign the value 1 to the variable earth, and then we attempt to reassign it with the value 2. However, attempting to reassign a const type results in an error, highlighting its immutability. Additionally, it's crucial to note that the value of a const must be a compile time constant. To illustrate this point, let's modify the previous example. We first declare a mutable integer x and assign it the value 1. Then, we try to redeclare the const variable by assigning the value of x to it. Although it might seem very obvious or intuitive, in this case, since x is mutable in nature, it cannot be used as a compile time constant, so it leads to error. To summarize, const values are immutable, and the internal contents of that variable are completely sealed from further modifications. This brings us to the final keyword. The difference between final and const is subtle but important. To demonstrate its similarity to const as an immutable variable, we first initialize the final type variable with a value of 12. Attempting to initialize it once again leads to an error, showcasing its immutability. However, contrary to const, the value of the variable need not be defined at compile time, so that the initial value of the final variable can be obtained from the variable x, which was determined at runtime by Dart. This property of the final modifier brings in significant flexibilities. We leverage this flexibility by declaring a list named z, containing the integers 1, 2, and 3. We assign the final variable myData with z again. We run the code to reaffirm that this assignment is allowed. Now, let's attempt to reassign the contents of myData to a completely new list. The final variable myData is still immutable, so an attempt to reassign it with another list leads to an error. However, here comes the interesting part. We indirectly modify the third element of the z list. Note that we are allowed to change the contents of z as it is a mutable variable. Here, we overwrite the last value of the list with a new value 0. Now, if we print the value of the final variable myData, we see that the contents of myData have now been magically modified. To summarize const and final, contrary to const, variables declared with final do not have compile time restrictions on assignment. Hence, by using objects, you can change the value of their fields later. That was an overview of Dart's const and final keywords. Subscribe to Code Climbers for more content like this.